How's it going, gamers? In this video we'll be taking a look at 5 tips to help you better your Shulk gameplay. Not a Shulk main? That's okay. Some of these tips are universal and can be applied to any character, so stick around and you might learn something new. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and leave a comment letting me know which character you'd like to see in a video next. Also, last thing I promise, be sure to join my Discord server with the link in the description to join the community and get updates on all the events and happenings we run on the channel. Okay, I'll shut up now. Enjoy the video. Shulk's Monado arts are what makes Shulk, well, Shulk. They take Shulk's typically linear and predictable playstyle and heighten them to new levels in order to keep your opponent guessing. Shulk can control space and a game's pacing all with his Monado arts in order to try and turn the game into your favor. For that reason, you always want to be in a Monado art as often as you can. Shulk's neutral mostly consists of his slow, predictable aerials, so it's important to use every tool available in Shulk's kit in order to keep your opponent on their toes. Don't be afraid to always be in an art, and to switch an art midway through if the scenario calls for it. If you win neutral and speed art, don't be afraid to switch to Buster before speed finishes in order to rack up damage while you're ledge trapping. Just experiment with being in an art as frequently as possible. Avoid vanilla Shulk unless there's no other art for you to be in, like if all you have left is Smash art and you're at a high percent. Obviously don't do that. One of the most fundamental things that a Shulk player must become disciplined in is patience. As everybody knows, one of Shulk's greatest weaknesses is his frame data. This prevents Shulk from being able to constantly throw out moves because most characters will always beat out Shulk due to just having better frame data. To sum it up nicely, you cannot mash with Shulk, especially when you are playing at a very high level where players really know how to exploit your openings. This is something that I've struggled with for a long time. I like to be aggressive, but it's so hard to do with Shulk at a high level. To make matters worse for Shulk's poor frame data, Shulk also loses hard to players who can constantly parry your attacks. Many of Shulk's aerials, which are typically safe on shield, now become punishable when parried. This goes for forward air, back air, his tilts, any kind of moves that are usually a key part of Shulk's neutral. Because of this major character flaw, Shulk has to choose his approaches and attacks very carefully to avoid being parried or have his moves be beaten out by faster ones. I think the best player in the world, Kome, does a wonderful job at showing Shulk's optimal gameplay in neutral. In these clips, watch how much of Kome's gameplay revolves around standing and waiting to exploit an opening. He constantly uses foxtrots and empty hops to try and beat out options from the opponent. He makes the most out of this using speed art, using Shulk's amazing speed to effortlessly weave across the stage and find opportunities to strike. It's typically only when Shulk is an advantage when Kome really starts to go more aggressive. Once he can find an opening to start a combo or is ledge trapping, can Kome finally play a bit more active and maintain his superb advantage state. Practice showing more restraint and patience like Kome does. With Shulk, less is more. Being careful choosing your attacks and approaches will not only help you secure more openings, but can drastically reduce the amount of damage you take and time you spend in disadvantage. An important part of playing Shulk successfully is playing his tricky yet predictable neutral. In neutral, Shulk players will likely find themselves using Nair as 90% of their attacks. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing move, but what will you do if your opponent learns how to play around it? What if they dodge or shield it every time and they punish you every time you go for it? This is where timing mix-ups come in. When your opponent is conditioned for you to attack at a certain time with moves like Nair or back air, you can bait out early spot dodges or shield drops by stalling in the air longer before attacking. This can be especially effective against very fast-paced and impatient opponents who try and punish every move you throw out. This also goes really well with things like utilizing different areas of Nair's hitboxes, such as mixing up approaches with the rear hitboxes mentioned in my Mastering the Monado series, link in the description. Practice mixing up your timings with moves like Nair, back air, and even forward air, and I bet you'll see a huge difference in your games and you'll end up landing more attacks. Down air is actually a pretty good move of Shulk's. I don't see a lot of people utilize it, but it actually makes for some really good approach mix-ups. It can combo into dash attack and forward air and speed art at low percents, and has a ton of follow-up potential in Buster. The best thing about this move is that when you use it in speed or Buster art, it's really difficult to punish due to the aerial drift granted from speed and the crazy shield pressure it deals in Buster. Another neat thing is that it can beat out spot dodges, which is super useful in this game, where spot dodging is so good and Shulk actually has a lot of moves, including down air, that can counterplay poor spot dodges. Give it a shot. I find landing down airs the most effective when punishing neutral techs, or missed techs in speed art, as well as punishing spot dodges while trying to extend combos in buster art. Another thing that I think is important for any player with any character, but I think is especially vital with Shulk, is knowing when to reset neutral. Regardless of what ESAM thinks of Shulk's disadvantage is not good, with your only options under pressure being Nair and air slash out of shield. The issue with these moves though are the Nair doesn't come out until frame 13, and that's only for when it's starting behind you. And air slash, while a bit faster, is a way bigger commitment that can get you hard punished if you whiff. Shulk has a pretty rough time against really good rushdown playstyle and knows how to abuse Shulk's poor frame data. Because of this weakness that Shulk has, one of the best things you can do is simply reset neutral. How do you do that? Simple. Seriously though, it is a viable option to run out of a bad situation. Utilize Shulk's speed and mobility to get out of a rough situation. Don't always try and fight your opponent away when they already have stage control and their attacks come out 3 times faster than yours. It's good practice to simply reset, walk away, and start fresh by resetting neutral when possible. It's not always easy to do this, but using jump or speed art can help out tremendously. I especially use jump art all the time to just completely jump over the stage and skip an entire ledge trapping situation. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and share with your fellow Shulk players. If you have any other tips for Shulk, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll be reading the comments and hurting my favorites. If you'd like to see another tip video for any other character, please leave your suggestions. Lastly, make sure you subscribe and join my Discord server in the description to become a part of the community and be the first to know when new uploads, streams, and events are happening. Until next time, gamers.